When I say Naughty Dog, this is probably what you think of. This studio that has built its reputation upon its reputation, and nowadays are known for their work on Uncharted, the Last of Us Remastered, and a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff with exorbitant product placement and an entire dev team that don't know how hair clippers work. But when I hear Naughty Dog, I hear the drums of liberation, and I am transported to the scenic vista of Sandover Village. I'm talking Jak And Daxter, baby, a PlayStation legend, a flagship title for the PS2. Selling 11 million copies, the series was anything but a failure, and Sony loved reminding us with references scattered even throughout the PS5 era. So where is Jak? Huh? I asked the rocks,
but the rocks do not recall. Even
the rock do not recall. In the advent of the era of so many remakes, reboots, and remasters destroy all humans, I'm still in a dream. The Ratchet and Clank reboot, the definitive fuck-up of the GTA trilogy. Even the fucking Last of Us got 3 remasters, it didn't need one. Come on, Naughty Dog, where's Jak And Daxter Definitive Edition? Now, Naughty Dog did have plans for Jak 4, but the Naughty Dog that created those plans and Jak's legacy is not the same as the Naughty Dog of today. And with the failure of The Lost Frontier, they said that they wouldn't want to tarnish the legacy of Jak And Daxter, even though it's not off the table. So what is this legacy, and how have they already tarnished this? Well, to answer this question, I gotta take you back in time to the before time. See, when I was a kid, this was video games. Most of these classics are 2D games with 3D trickery. Time Crisis was a Duck Hunt. Outrun had you treadmill the world. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat was Mario. It wasn't until Croc Legends of Gabo and Spyro that I experienced 3D gaming. So when I first saw somebody boot their PS2 up and then slip this bad boy in the disc tray, I was so blown away I made a fucking commercial.
Welcome to Sandover Village, the coastal settlement cocktail that is tropical fantasy, alien worldscape, and steampunk fusion. Windmill huts litter the landscape, and it's all yours to explore in 3 directions. That's right, kids. Head down to Sentinel Beach, chase some seagulls, punch a hermit crab, explore the world, swim in the open water, but don't go too far, kiddos, or the lurker shark will bite your balls and give you actual traumatic thalassophobia. For Sandover Village is a registered trademark of the Jak And Daxter franchise, and Naughty Dog Games would like to remind you that they made Jak And Daxter, even though we haven't made a platform in decades. We like to use it in the sales pay new trash terms and conditions apply.
This game is better than Assassin's Creed. Come on, this wasn't just some pretty backdrop or set dressing. Jak And Daxter wasn't about standing still and admiring the view. It was about throwing yourself into the world to explore tropical beaches, lush jungle temples, icy mountain tops, volcanic transitions, no loading screens, no waiting, just pure adventure. Sonic Frontiers tried to push its open zone type gameplay from a marketing angle, but Jak did this in 2001 without marketing anything. Platformers of the time contained levels in the menu, but in Jak, when you wanna go to the next level, like a semi-automatic loading the next round into the chamber while ejecting the previous one, just jump on the zoomer and shoot yourself across the fire canyon or the mountain pass. This is an adventure game at the end of the day, and when you're finished with these trips, it's like, bam! New hub level with sub-branches, new characteristic obstacles. Misty Island has these logs that you gotta roll under. At the top of the snowy mountains, there are slippery ice patches that's all kinds of fucked up. These slow-ass minecarts in the volcanic crater that I always rush and die. Every platform, every obstacle belongs to its levels if made by the denizens of that biome. And the sound design is like, level design, ambience, and sound design in perfect harmony, and the result? Each level feels alive, making the world feel alive. The hermit crabs and sand serpents, these little puppy guys. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes in my motherfucking jungle. Samuel L. Jackson. Every enemy has expressive detail and are blended seamlessly into each level design's environment or biome without repetition, making the addition feel natural rather than just copy-paste elements in a generic template. But nothing made Jak and Daxter feel more alive than the demolition duo themselves. Jak's movements, how he snaps out of the roll jumps and hovers with the kicks, satisfying running animations, crisp ledge grabs, polished controls in video games entice you to push its limits, and this game introduces new concepts to you and gradually ramps the difficulty up while leaving you with the same moveset to deal with each challenge that rewards you for your precision, but is gonna punish you severely for impatience. Unlike most games, Jak never levels up. The Jak at the beginning is the same as the Jak at the end, but you will find that you level up in Jak and Daxter. It won't even be halfway through the game before you get an intuitive sense of how far the roll jump will take you, or how you could just cheese whole areas to avoid the obstacles. You go from double jumping to adding a hover kick to realizing that the uppercut is actually the superior form of transversal. Movement in Jak is fun, and it is animated with attention to detail that can only come from passion to breathe life into the mute MC who says nothing else but
Say something! Just this once! Battle me!
Jak will take deep breaths when he's tired. He runs uphill different than downhill. He will change direction on a dime. And Daxter will twirl when you kick. When you punch, he goes Looney Tunes. When you swim, his legs shiver. If you hang from a cliff, he will try to pull Jak up and fall back down. Daxter's attention to detail entices you to take a deeper look at the game, and it's encouraged because he's at the foreground of power cell animations. He speaks enough to make up for Jak's mute, but he also segues me into my next chapter. Good fucking character designs. We are well into the era where gaming takes a backseat to the video of narrative-driven video games, but now we enter an era where the video takes a backseat to drive the narrative. Every high-budget narrative-driven game feels like an AI-generated variation of every other high-budget narrative-driven game. Character conception begins from the end result, and they try to grow a character in the confines of their own blinders, giving us something that's just fine instead of pushing the limits of the creativity. Standing out with modern writing ranges from too inoffensive or tame to abrasive and unlikable personalities, with the story more concerned about trying to force you to like them through pity instead of using gameplay to earn your respect, giving us more slices of bread from the same loaf of AAA when your character should be the cheese that glues the pizza of story and gameplay together. But in Jak, the roles were comprised first, and the characters were molded around those roles. The geologist who resembles the lightning nose she tasked you with hurting, the sleeping farmer, the mayor who paces with his top hat, the sculptor who just wants to be amused, the miners spending 6 more years cause his study years digging the gem, the sages of different eco with different properties. You'd assume with red being fire and heat that the red sage would be an angry hothead, but he mastered his anger like he mastered red eco. The yellow sage, Nikola Tesla type sage, Samos, the sage of green eco, representing plants and healing. So it's obvious he gotta have a fucking log growing out of his hair, right? Who the fuck is the bud? Did the bud go with them to Jak too?
What was that thing?
The fucking bud went with them to Jak. You know the character design was good when you can remember mute characters from the entire series, but there's not much need for dialogue or padding in this game. You get one main quest. That is it. Every side mission is equivalent to a main mission. Finding 7 scout flies is the same as NPC given task. It doesn't matter how disjointed it wants to be. So long as it gives you a power cell, it's relevant. I mean, you forget the goal is for God to change backs to Dax so that Naughty Dog can use the character they designed just to show 5 minutes of him in the entire fucking series. Oh, I'm sorry, did you finish the story? You need 100 more power cells, baby. But why? Unless you don't want to see the secret ending cutscene, which would have led to the Precursor Legacy Part 2. A follow-up that would have continued the linear game design if it weren't for the buzz that started a month and a half before Jak and Daxter's release. Jak and Daxter may seem like a lighthearted, adventure-filled platformer, but Naughty Dog had to grow a new plan from the same seeds to compete with the innovation that was GTA 3. Completely shifting the sands of the gaming industry. A linear, albeit seamless game can't compete with the new and improved open world, right? Think about this. mute MC, fuzzy mascot sidekick, collectibles in a vibrant, seamless world, and yet leading a blueprint for a sequel so tonally different, so drastically cyberpunk that you would think that it was made by Crazy Frog and not Naughty Dog. If a developer today announced a game and said, yeah, we're making a colorful adventure platformer, but by the next game it'll be a dark, dystopian, open world revolution story with guns and hovercrafts and hijack. People would have called it more ambitious than No Man's Sky or Cyberpunk, and yet old Naughty Dog just did it. No roadmap, no Kickstarter stretch goals, just one riftgate, a jump to the future and a game that redefined its own legacy. But the Naughty Dog that made Jack's legacy is dead. The people that had an actual attachment aren't there anymore. Current management is more concerned with using Jak as a brand stamp to promote lectures with product placement, with the last crop of reveal trailers speaking for themselves. Real quick, let's take a look at 5 unedited seconds of Donkey Kong's trailer. Make me buy a PS5, Naughty Dog.
He's not worth it.
Okay, now let's try Mario Kart World. And what about you, Nut?
In a small bathroom, a young multiracial woman uses clippers to buzz down her scalp.
Give me compliments. I said give me compliments. Completely dead.
If Naughty Dog stayed with Jak, we'd be seeing our Jak Odyssey by now. But if the Naughty Dog of today had remade Jak, it'll probably be called Ashland Atzel Test. And the difference between that and the new IP is that I'd actually be interested in playing that game. As a fan from the 90s, Naughty Dog have lost the moral rights to wield Jak's name because they abandoned the platformer and the gamer's game ages ago in favor of turning narrative-driven games into games that drive a narrative. Fans would love for Jak to get the Donkey Kong treatment, and I personally wouldn't mind seeing Insomniac give it to them. They had a hand in its development, sharing office space, playtesting new IP. If you think about it, Jak and Daxter grew up alongside Ratchet and Clank, and Insomniac haven't abandoned the game that put them on the map in the first place. At least, I wouldn't know Insomniac if it weren't for Ratchet and Clank, and I wouldn't know Naughty Dog if it weren't for Crash, and we had to see Activision bring Crash back with Toys for Bob. At least they did something. Even Croc is getting a remaster. Come on, Naughty Dog. And now Donkey Kong? Come on, Naughty Dog. Look in the mirror. Don't you recognize yourself? Why Last of Us? I got an idea. Insomniac, come here, baby. I need a whisper to you. Listen. Take the Jak model from Ratchet and Clank. Take the level design from Astrobot and remake the precursor Legacy. Oh shit, even bring us Jak 4? It's in your recipe to create something like that. I mean, flying cars is Insomniac's forte. The worlds of Jak and Ratchet, whilst being unique to everything else, were similar to each other and stirred the imaginations of millions because they were built with love. For Jak, the entire dev team drew what they thought their vision of what they wanted to see is going to be in the game, and it resulted in fantastical biomes and a fusion of interests of people from different skill sets, creating something that meant something to people without fucking trying to. But even without a remaster, Jak and Daxter will always remain among the legends that opened a lot of gamers to the open world itself. For a lot of us, it was our escape. It was our reward. It is millions of people's childhood. It's just a shame that a lot of modern gamers will never be able to appreciate what it was for its time and why it stuck with die-hard fans of the trilogy in the best era of gaming. Naughty Dog, keep my favorite game's name out your fucking